Oi, 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 it's Lads Product Reviews.
You know the lads, the ones out there making their own ham.
She found us again, lads. What have I told you about hiding the ham? No, not there. No, not there. You're gonna make the ham so we can't even eat it. What are you doing? Alright. I've been carrying the original 2 Halloween edition for a week and a half, 2 weeks now, something like that. Since the unboxing, really. So I thought I would go ahead and do a review and talk about what I like and don't like about the original 2 so far, since I've been carrying it. Don't like dropping it. The Halloween aesthetic's kind of cool. You got a goose there and some bats and some skulls and stuff, and the purple anodization. Basic black pocket clip, which is reversible. We got the trick or treat, more purple anodization. We got some jimping up here on the top of the handle. We got these standoffs back here if you wanted to do a lanyard, but it's got no lanyard hole. No backspace here on the back here. Jimping here, some jimping here. Then we got jimping on the blade itself and 2 different spots. The the studs for the crossbar lock stick out a little bit, but they're not too bad. They don't get in the way when you're using the knife. Because the jimping out here, it kind of makes it seem like you should be able to choke up. But the choil out here is really short, and it's really easy to get your finger on the blade. I mentioned the trick or treat on the other side, but we also got a ghost on the blade on this side. I think this was a Nitro V DLC coated blade. It's aesthetically actually quite similar to the Civivi button lock PEI. Also quite similar in size and stuff, but it's Halloween themed, and instead of a button lock, it's crossbar lock, and there's some similarities. Kizer was making these and releasing them with a bunch of different handle materials and blade materials, so there's a lot of options out there. I think the original 2 is going to drop like the 10th or something, so the basic models might be out already. But they released the Halloween versions early. The thumb studs, when I first started using this knife, I kept trying to push it down, and that doesn't work very well. You need to push forward, and then the blade comes out really, really fast. And really easily. The blade shape's kind of this weird drop point, where sometimes if you look at it, because it drops off so hard and so fast right here, you might think that the lock's not actually engaged. Little bit of left to right blade play. The action's quick on it though. For some reason I noticed that it's got a pivot screw on each side. And now that I'm mentioning it, let's go ahead and check the hardware. I think it's probably going to be T8 and T6 by the look of things. That was the T6, so. Wasn't it? That was T8. Oh, wow. That was actually that loose. Okay, the blade play is gone. That's cool. Although, it does have lock stick now. So, we're going to loosen that just a tad here. I didn't even realize that it had blade play, and I've been using it quite a bit. What's the blade centering looking like? Looks pretty centered. Okay. So, we know that the pivot's T8, as I just discovered. Huh. Oh, that's just spinning. That's not actually tightening anything. Yeah. So those are T8. I don't think the thumb studs are T6. Yeah. Okay, so thumb studs T6, pocket clip T6, body screws T8, pivot screws T8, and then the crossbar lock is T8. So just T6 on the thumb screw, or the thumb studs, and the pocket clip. All right, that's a little interesting. So this is the original 2. I think I saw that the original 1 had a button lock instead of a crossbar lock, and they decided to change it up for this entry. Knife shape or handle shape's great. Easy to pocket. My only complaint is getting out on the choil. And the blade is kind of pokey there because that choil's not that far out and it's not that deep. The blade is pretty sharp out of the box, and I haven't had any issues with cutting with it. We're going to go ahead and dive into our size comparison. All the knives in our size comparison are $100 or less, starting with the James brand Redstone, which is $100. Our CRKT Drifter. Obviously, these are the smaller knives starting out, and it is much bigger than all of those. We're going to step into our medium knives. We already had the Civivi Elementum Button Lock 2 out just because I was comparing it for aesthetic reasons. They're kind of similar because of the PEI. I think this has got a little bit less grippy than the scales on the Elementum. Not that it doesn't feel less grippy. Smaller pocket clip. The Civivi is a little bit at an angle and has a much higher up kick. So take with that what you will. We'll compare it against 2 of our bigger knives. Oh, the other knife down here on the bottom with the micarta was the Kizer Seagull, by the way. We got the CRKT Squid XM and the Spyderco Tenacious. Actually, the blade's pretty close to the Squid's, and the handle's a little bit longer. Huh, okay. What was it? It is a little bit longer than the Civivi, too. Just a smidge. One thing I noticed about... I might loosen that just a hair more. One thing I noticed, and it's kind of hard to tell, and I might not be able to get it on camera. You can kind of look at the scales and see where the the spring goes in. I'm having a hard time getting it on camera, but there's actually little holes in the liners. So it looks like these have adjustability for the coil spring. So I guess you'd be able to adjust how snappy the knife opens. No, really. Almost got it there for a second. It's harder to get it on camera, but I can see it just barely in person. At some point, I might take it apart and see if what the adjusting of it would do. Personally, I like how snappy it opens and closes right now. And it's got pretty good play on it. I think I'll look real quick. I know that they were doing titanium handles, but I can't remember what type of metal they were doing for the blade. Let's see here. We've got titanium handle S54VN. That's around $160. And a couple of different colors. 142 C8N gray aluminum for $80. And then you can get the gray micarta for $70. Looks like the gray micarta is probably pretty close to the same micarta they have on the Seagull. One thing I'm gonna mention, I like the sound more on the Seagull. I think that is just a little bit more of a fidgety knife. Not that that's not, like the play on the crossbar lock's pretty good. And it works really well. I haven't had any issues with it until I've started messing with the pivot just now on camera. But yeah, pretty solid knife for a Halloween edition. I think the titanium handles and S45VN still sounds like it would be really cool. $160 is more than I have dropped on a knife purchase so far. But maybe eventually. But I don't know if I would want to drop. I mean, like I like the regular original too, Halloween edition. So, real quickly, down in the pinned comments, I'm gonna have our links to Patreon, Instagram, affiliate links, King's Camo Outdoor Gear, Priority Tires, Crossman Air Rifles. Sorry, I felt like I had a burp coming. Raven Crossbows, Try the World International Food Box subscriptions, W Energy Drink, 10% off link code lads_field2025. If you follow the link, it should automatically put in the discount code, but if it doesn't, put in lads_field2025 on checkout. Traverson Outdoor Supplies, Piscafun Fishing Supplies, Zeal Pet Food, and Tide Weed Duck Hunting Supplies. If you want to support the channel, you can also like and subscribe, comment on the video if you have a comment or whatever. Share the videos. I don't know. Maybe you got friends. I don't know. I don't know your life. But yeah, solid knife. The other options for it sound cool, but I had to get the Halloween version because I thought the Halloween version was neat, and I'm gonna carry it for the rest of the month most likely. Although I have knife ADD, and I'm like, ooh, this looks nice. I want to get this. Trying to control myself a little bit more with that. All right. Thanks, and we'll catch you in the next video. All right. Bye.